Blade and Sorcery is a game about using, you guessed it, blades and sorcery to, incapacitate your enemies. But I'm a little sick of blades after the dagger only challenge, so let's finally experience the other half of the game. Can you beat Blade and Sorcery's hardest dungeon with only magic? This has been one of the most requested challenges yet, and quite frankly, I've been scared to tackle it. In all my time playing Blade and Sorcery, I've always struggled to use magic. Lightning always seemed underpowered, gravity is overpowered if you abuse it, and by this point you guys should know me enough to know that I can't hit shit with fireballs. So after setting the dungeon to the highest difficulty and length and loading in, let's see if I can get good at the sorcery part of this game. Starting out, I go straight to throwing fire. I wanted to try out a strategy where I have fire in my main hand for offense and lightning in my offhand to stun enemies, leaving them open for a face full of fire. As you can see from the footage here, I suck at throwing fireballs. I miss way too often, but I eventually figure out a better way to aim. See, my mentality before was that to launch a fireball you had to throw it, so I was always inaccurate because doing a throwing motion in VR never really ends well. I thought, being Australian and all, that my inbuilt cricket skills would come in handy. They did not. So I discovered that using a punching motion instead sent them straight out from where your fists are pointing, making it much easier to use fire. I also want to mention that I won't be using gravity for the most part in this run. Force grabbing people and yeeting them around is fun, but a bit overpowered and way too easy to rely on. So I'm only going to use gravity for crowd control every now and then. I'll be maining fire and lightning. This starting area wasn't too hard. I turned this girl's face into the mask from, the mask, and eventually move on after feeling confident everyone was dead, or at least not getting back up. I make a sick jump and keep moving forward into the dungeon. I deal with these three, pretty quickly, and beat this mage in a duel before chasing after someone who tried to escape my wrath. I will get revenge for Clarence if it's the last thing I do. These guys got choked into a small hallway, so it made it pretty easy to pick them off by just throwing as much magic as I could into their vicinity. This one who originally tried to escape from me before just kept getting back up, but I took care of that. No one gets out alive when I'm around. Not anymore at least. I take this girl by surprise before she even sees me, then I manage to get 3 headshots in a row with my fireballs. I start to become a lot more efficient at using magic, knowing when to stun and attack and wait for my mana to recharge. This area got a little too close quarters for my liking, but I managed to deal with them. Here, I got surrounded by enemies, and I was taking a lot of damage. Luckily, I managed to spot a trapdoor, and I barricaded myself in there before I got overwhelmed. Down here, I did the smart thing and used lightning while fully submerged in water, escaped the tunnel, and kept unleashing my fury onto this poor dungeon's population. But they deserve it. They killed Clarence. I politely greet this lady after climbing a rope, but she didn't say hi back, so I killed her, and head further into a cave before zapping the fuck out of this guy just minding his own business. I use a clay firebomb here to finish them off, which I'm not counting as breaking the rules because you have to use magic to light it, and I move on to destroy these two and steal a sweet roll. I reach this little farm area and have to face a few enemies. It's here that I first try combined casting. Is that what it's called? When you join 2 of the same spell together. To help with crowd control, I made a big gravity bubble that floated everyone around for a while. Then, I tried to figure out how the fire combined cast worked. I completely failed the first time, missed the second time, once again failed the third time. 4th time's the charm though, and I didn't realize just how powerful it would be. It sent people absolutely flying, and I dealt with them in absolutely no time. Unfortunately, the sound didn't record for this video, and the last pacifist one too. I used Steam Link instead of Airlink and forgot to change my sound output in OBS, so apologies if it bothers you. It was at this point that I realized I was getting good at magic. I was dealing with enemies more swiftly than ever, and experimenting with different ways to use it was really fun and empowering. I fucking demolish these guys and send too many fireballs into this girl's face. I just keep throwing nukes into each room to send people flying and finish them off with smaller fireballs. Through all of my experimentation and magic casting, I never thought to test out the combined cast for lightning. I accidentally found out what it was after I did the run when I was trying to get a thumbnail shot, If I had realized it was a fucking laser death beam that launched from your chest like Iron Man, I would have used it. But alas, I was stuck just throwing ballistic missiles at people, which got the job done, but it didn't turn me into a goddamn Marvel hero. Now we've hit the big wave area, and obviously this time I was in no rush to get to the exit before it shut. I faced these guys head on, and sent more magic at them than I could count. This wave area actually got pretty dicey. I'm very powerful, but I've got no shield to defend myself or sword to parry with, so when I got surrounded or an archer got a good shot in, I was defenseless against their attacks. I just kept launching and exploding people for minutes straight, and for a lot of it, I was on super low health. I found a healing potion, but once again, they must have mixed it with water or something because I think shoving a carrot up my ass would do more for my health. Here's a quick time lapse of the fight. I emerged victorious, but I was on such low health that I literally couldn't see my health bar. Someone could have coughed in my direction and I would have died. I know you guys can't see it because how recording this game works, but trust me when I say I was sweating over every small bump I had to jump over in case I broke my ankles and died on the spot. I grab a lantern and head down the last few rooms before my exit, and there it was, my good old boat that's carried my fat ass more times than I can count. This challenge was probably the most fun yet. I went from an average magic hater to a pro magic enjoyer in the space of one run. Thank you all so much for watching. Next time I'm going to do a challenge in a different game like Fallout or Skyrim to mix it up a little bit. As much as I love Blade and Sorcery, I do want to branch out and do other things from time to time. Remember to like the video if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more challenges like this one, and join the Discord server link down below. Have a wonderful day.